A somber anniversary today as we remember the 9 people killed 6 years ago at Mother Emanuel in downtown Charleston. 5 others survived at what is now known as the Charleston church shooting. News 2's Maris Jenkins joining us now live from the church. Maris, June 17th, always a heavy day around here.
Brad, that's right. Today we reflect on a sad day that not only sent shockwaves across the nation, but brought the Holy City together as one. And here we are 6 years later, and many are still pushing for change. On the night of June 17th, 2015, worshipers went to the historic church Mother Emanuel for Wednesday night Bible study. Just after 8 p.m., the shooter walked in the church, sits down in that Bible study for an hour before pulling out a gun and shooting 9 innocent people. Now back out here live this morning, I'm joined by Reverend Eric Manning, who is the current pastor of Mother Emanuel. Good morning, Reverend Manning. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us this morning.
Thank you.
Here we are 6 years later. Yes. How has the church moved forward?
Well, we take one day at a time. Of course, when we look back over 6 years, we can say that we are not necessarily in a better place, but we're getting there. So we take one day at a time and we continue to move forward as best as we can.
And when we think about the fact that there's still mass shootings happening across our nation, how has that impacted worship in the church?
Well, since we've been in COVID, of course, we've been virtual, so it hasn't been that much of a major impact. But I'm sure from a trauma perspective, every time we hear or we read about another mass shooting, it takes us back to, of course, the events on June 17th, 2015. So what we can do from a church perspective is just continue to ensure that when we do come back to in-person worship, that our congregation feels safe and secure.
And what ways are you all working to keep the 9 lives that we lost that day, their legacy alive?
Well, we keep their legacy alive every day by just remembering. In the lower level, we have pictures, of course, of the Emanuel 9. And we're really excited about the memorial that will be built prayerfully as we break ground this year and then with the next few years. And that will, of course, be a lasting memory and a legacy to the Emanuel 9 and the survivors.
All right, thank you so much, Reverend Manning, for joining us this morning. Now, the church is having different events throughout the rest of the month to remember those 9 victims, and you can find all of that information on our website, counton2.com. Stay tuned for more News 2 Today coming up after the break.